show where three generations of family go head to head on a variety of topics. We got one Gen Zer, Chris,
Yes, ma'am.
one Millennial, Noe, and one BDB, the baby boomer from Brooklyn, Moffin.
Trademark pending.
Trademark pending, that's right. No matter what the topic may be, you better believe that it'll be up for debate. Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets will not play him until he is vaccinated.
All right, well,
Come out swinging hard.
no, we're gonna go easy on Kyrie. I mean, look, he's catching a lot of slack for not getting vaccinated. A lot of slack from Stephen A. Smith, and I just think I think it's definitely his choice. I have no issue with him wanting to get vaccinated, or excuse me, not wanting to get vaccinated. I mean, it's his choice, it's his body, it's whatever, it's what you want to do. I understand the ramifications and what comes with that, for him. And I also get that his teammates are like, oh, we all had to do it. I mean, everybody has to do it. So, I mean, it's hard, man. He's losing a lot of money, but granted, you can lose half your salary and still make $17 million a year. So, I mean, that's not a big deal, you know what I'm saying? But it's tough. I mean, it's tough because it's like, yeah, you want to be out there and compete for a championship. You want to be out there for the team and do whatever everybody else sacrificed and had to do it. And it's not really a team issue. You know what I'm saying? It's a state thing. So it's not something the NBA can help him out with. It's not something that I think the Brooklyn Nets actually tried to speak to the governor and the mayor and stuff and see if they can get some kind of exemption, but that's not going to happen. I think the thing with Kyrie at this point is people have kind of just looked at him and it's like, yo, this dude says the most outlandish stuff at times. So the image is kind of just like, all right, this dude is doing something else for no reason, for attention, to just be different. Because I feel like he does a lot of that. I just do stuff to be different. And he also has this kind of thing about him that's like, I feel like I'm smarter than the world. And people don't really like that. So I feel like people are kind of just holding a lot of those things against him with this vaccine. But I actually think for him, it's probably a religious thing. I think he's recently converted to Muslim and all that other stuff. So I don't know, it just never really seems the same. Like, it seems different. But I bring that up because you've seen a lot of NBA players who have recently transitioned or become Muslim. And I think a lot of them are on this path of, I'm not doing this for this. And, they follow the Farrakhan's and, the Brother Islams and all this other stuff. And for me, it's just, that part of it is tough to deal with respect to Kyrie being a basketball player, because it's just like, this is the same group that turned on Muhammad Ali. This is the same group that turned on Malcolm X. And as soon as you're no longer beneficial to them, will they turn on you too? So, I mean, I'm sure for him, he feels like, hey, I'm riding or dying with this. And I'm not pro-vaccine. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-living. So, I mean, you see dudes talking, they're like, yo, well, what is somebody said to me the other day? It was like, it's like, yo, people are still getting COVID with the vaccine and this and that. I'm like, yeah, but they ain't dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't met anybody who got the vaccine and died. Meaning, like, yo, the vaccine killed me. Not like I got COVID again and I had some, no, like, yeah, they shot me up and it was over after that. Like, I haven't spoken to anybody who's experienced that. I haven't spoken to anybody who knows anybody who's experienced that. You know what I do know? People have not got it and died.
Yep.
So, I mean, I just think the Kyrie situation is unfortunate, but I mean, it's his choice at the end of the day.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like it borderlines that whole shut up and dribble rhetoric. Mainly because anytime any NBA star has done anything outside of the scope of basketball, there's always been some type of dissonance in terms of how it was perceived in the media. Like Kyrie has done a lot of stuff that was outside of the scope of basketball, whether it was his perception of what shape the earth was, you know what I'm saying, or burning sage around a gym. That was just outside of the scope of basketball. And anytime somebody does that, like a Dennis Rodman, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, when they just do things that are just not within the realm of just shooting a basketball, it creates so much dissonance within the media. Like Allen Iverson, even with him getting tattoos and not wearing suits to, you know, the press conferences, it's been like this for years. You know what I'm saying? This is not the first time that we've had situations like this with an NBA star and the media turning on them and saying he's doing the wrong thing for the team and things of that nature, when it's really and truly that person's decision to do whatever it is that they want to do, or, you know, get into whatever they want to get into.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tough place to be in, especially when it's not an NBA issue. Like, there's nothing the league can do for it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's my turn. So, Kyrie is an amazing player. I'm going to start with that. He's an amazing
Top
player.
75, though.
I do not want to take that away from him. However, Kyrie leaves a lot to be desired. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, okay, yes, he converted to Islam. My brother is Muslim. My brother has been Muslim. My brother is at the masjid almost every day. Probably every day, if I'm not mistaken. He celebrates every Muslim holiday. He prays. My brother is a devout Muslim. And he works for the state of New York. And he actually tried to claim religious exemption with that Islamic belief about inoculation. And guess what the state said? You want to guess?
Oh, no.
No good! That's what they said. They were just like, we're not gonna be able to do it. You can be Muslim as long as the day is long, but you cannot work for this state. Right? So with every job comes actual laws and rules and regulations. Now, if Kyrie was part owner of the Nets, but he's not. You are a player. You are an employee of the Brooklyn Nets organization. And the Brooklyn Nets organization says you must be inoculated with at least one shot of a vaccine. And you said no. I would throw in the fact that it has been discussed that you may have an affinity for white women. So, but you know, that's besides the point. But you know, that also goes into consideration when I'm making my decision.
That's his weakness. Pork and white women.
Clearly.
Pork and white.
Clearly. But he may be a brilliant player, but he's not brilliant in the mind. You know, my boy Chris Brown actually called him a hero behind his decision not to get the vaccine. Now, if Kyrie can take a back seat and still make the type of money that he makes off the court. However, for players, the court is their life. So if you're not doing that, what are you doing? Sailing the ocean to find the end of the earth that's flat with white women? Like what are you actually doing if you're not playing? Does he have hobbies? Does he like deep sea diving? Like, what do you want to do with your life if you're not going to get the vaccine? Because you're not going to be playing in front of other players and other fans in stadiums, which is why you get paid. Do your research, fam.
Well, that's the thing too, because he kept saying I'm doing my research, trying to figure it out. I mean, like I've said this a number of times. Like, we're going into a year number 2 of this thing almost. It's like if you haven't done research by now, then what have you been doing? I mean, just in the last year, we've come a long way with this whole COVID situation and understanding it, and how whack it is and how detrimental it is to just life in general. So at this point, it's like I don't know why he's not getting it. I wish I understood.
I think he yearns. Is he an only child?
He has a sister.
That's insane.
And that's an interesting thing too, because no, it's interesting because he had, when the season first resumed last year and they started playing in stadiums again, he took off for like 2 or 3 weeks randomly in the beginning of the season. I don't remember what he cited with the reason, whether I think he was like, yeah, just personal, I just got to take some time off or whatever. And obviously COVID was still in full effect. And then this dude was at a party, like hanging out, at a birthday party, throwing it up, whatever, with his family and friends and all that other stuff, unmasked at the time, still unvaccinated, whatever. I don't even think a vaccine might have been available at that time. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, people are going to look at that and be like, well, if you're not practicing safety, but you're also not getting vaccinated, then where exactly do you stand? Because making statements like I'm trying to give a voice to the voiceless, well, who are the voiceless people?
Yeah, I was just about to say, who are those voiceless people that he's trying to give a voice to? The unvaccinated? Is that who he's talking about?
No clue. Because when he said it, he didn't really elaborate on it. I feel like it's like one of those, I'm just going to try and make a statement and, it's going to be the blanket statement for everything. Give a voice to the voiceless. Who are those people?
Well, I will say this.
Yeah, that's a weird statement.
I will say this. Number one, I thought he was an only child by the way he acts. He acts a little Kanye Westish. I'm sorry. What is it? Yeezy?
Yeezus?
Ye? No, he officially changed his name to Ye.
Oh, I did.
No, he's officially Ye or Yee.
That's hard.
However you pronounce it. I don't know.
Ye. It's probably
Ye. Okay. He officially changed it. But he reminds me of a little Ye-ish, with his actions. However, I will say this. The media is drawing attention only to the fact that he did not get his vaccination, whereas you have the majority of the players in the NBA that have gotten theirs. But the fact that they got theirs, that's not the top of the news story because it's not going to draw in clicks. Let's talk about Kyrie. If you stop talking about Kyrie will go away.
Very true.
True say. That's absolute, 100%.
But you have players in the NBA or former players in the NBA that have a whole Ponzi scheme with health insurance fraud, and then you got Kyrie over here talking about I'm not going to get vaccinated. But the thing is, if you do get sick, you have the top doctors at your beck and call, whereas the people that are looking at you, not so much.
Very true. And he did have that. I think he had a camp with a whole bunch of kids walking around maskless and all this other stuff. For me, it's just, if you're not going to do it, at least be safe when you're out doing whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Just because if you don't get it, but you're also not taking just the standard safety precautions, then you just look irresponsible and what you're saying means nothing. And then giving a voice to the voiceless, I'm just going to say it's the people who don't want the vaccination, because it's not solely about, it's weird. It's not solely about you. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't getting vaccinated until I had to. And once I got out in the world and it was just like, all right, I'm out here now. Like, I'm just have to get it. Not even just for myself, but I go home to a family and I ain't really trying to mess that up. So it's about more than just you. And that's the part of it that I'm sure he gets it. I'm not say I'm sure. I hope he gets that part. And I hope he, ends up getting the vaccination just for his own safety, for his family's safety. And
does he have a family? I mean, I know you said he has a sister.
Yeah,
but...
I think his dad.
He's got a wife.
Sister.
No.
I don't think, is he married? Did he get married? I know they just had a baby.
Pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just had a baby and all this other stuff. So
Is she of a different persuasion?
No, she's black.
She's I'm sorry?
She's black.
she's very light, but she is.
Yeah,
Black.
she's light skinned, but she's black.
Okay. All right. Touche. I stand
You gonna walk
corrected.
it
My
back?
bad.
You walking it back?
You know, I didn't know that. Y'all,
Alright,
y'all
okay,
should have
yeah,
corrected
yeah.
me when y'all should have corrected me when I had said
It
something
really
earlier.
wasn't on my mind when you said it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's 1 for NBA, 0 for Mr. Irving.
It's
Maybe,
just it's
yeah.
hard. It's
Yeah.
hard, man,
It's
because
weird.
it's such a personal decision.
It is. It really is. But think of it like this. If you are an entertainer and the stage is your place, that's your home, that's where you feel safe, that's where you feel healthy, that's where you're thriving, all that good stuff. And then you can't perform anymore because a pandemic of biblical proportion has now rained down on the earth. And you couldn't play for months at a time. And then when you were playing, it was literally to a screen of people sitting and cheering you on. There was no one in the stadium. And now you actually have the ability to go back into the stadium with live fans. Yeah, you know, all that. And now you're just like, I'm not going to get that vaccine. I'm sticking to my guns.
It's weird because his statements don't really seem to go in order with just the way things work. So he was just like, I'm not getting the vaccine, but I'm not giving up basketball. It was like, well, if you're not vaccinated, you're not playing basketball. So
is he going to play overseas? He's going to Canada? Like, where are you going to play?
Yeah.
Canada as a team?
I'm sure they got something. I mean, they got the Raptors, but I mean,
Yeah, is that still? I don't know.
But then you're in the same predicament because they still got to travel to all these different cities and states that have their own mandates. So outside of even just
with too many people to not
that, that too, because you had NBA players who didn't go to the bubble because they were like, yo, my kids have asthma, or you know, I have asthma, or whatever. Like, I can't go to the bubble and then go back. Like, no, I'm just, even though it's supposed to be safe, it's just, you're just gonna stay in the house and do it.
Let me put it like this. I know somebody that was an anti-vaxxer, right? And was adamant, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Had a few underlying health conditions, but nothing major. Got COVID. I'm doing better. I'm good. The funeral, not too long ago.
Damn. I know anti-vaxxer.
That got really dark really quick. Okay.
Nah, but that's the thing.
That's the reality of what we're doing here.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, once you know people have gotten COVID, died from COVID in mass proportions, then at that point it's like, okay, they have the vaccine or the shot, whatever you want to call it. I think this is something that we just might have to look into. And I'm assuming he's doing his research, but it's just hard for me to look at it and be like, if you did your research, then what's your reason for not getting it?
Not doing it. Mm-hmm.
And I understand everybody. I understand the people who are like, oh, I'm not doing that because, you know, it's my body, my choice, that kind of thing. I got you. I understand that. But as far as him, I'm just going simply based on what he said. And what he said was, giving a voice to the voiceless. You know, I just don't want to get it, basically. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he said on his IG Live. So it's kind of like, yeah, but what's your reason? Because I just don't want to. Like, it's not really a reason.
Make sense out of it. That's number one. Make sense. Number two, talk to people. Like, I wasn't going to get it. When I first found out that they was having a vaccine and it was under the TRUMP administration, I was like, hell no, I ain't getting no vaccine. I'm good. And then I spoke to my uncle, spoke to my aunt, who are both very well-to-do doctors, and they did a whole Zoom presentation for the family to let us know what the situation was and what the vaccine entailed. They divvied it up between Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson and said which one was which and who should not get it and who could get it. And when they was just like, no, it's, you know, I was like, well, then, I guess I will, and this was before I got COVID. And once I got COVID and I felt what COVID did to my body pre-vaccine, I said, I don't ever want to experience that type of feeling again in my life. Ever. The same brother that is a Muslim, he was hospitalized for how many days? Had to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance because of COVID. COVID don't care how much money you got. COVID don't care what your religious background is. COVID is a beast.
This is true.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Neither do I. Neither do I. And it's that simple. Like I said, I'm pro-living. And seeing as how congressmen and all of them people all willingly were just like, I need that. That's just it.
No, you had our Caucasian brothers and sisters traveling to Brownsville, Brooklyn, where they had vaccine sites. They was trying to pass as elderly. People was wearing wigs and whatnot. Like, I mean, it was a hot mess. And, Auntie, was at one of the vaccine sites and she was just like, it's all them that's here. None of us. None of us was there. Because, we was just like, no, the Tuskegee experiment. Oh, how they did with us in the past. And yeah, they have been evil devils in the past. But this COVID and their evil, you can't even equate the two.
Yeah, because COVID is killing them as much as it's killing regular people.
It's killing everybody. It don't discriminate. See, their evil was discrimination. COVID was just like, no, I'm an equal opportunity death giver. No, sir. You got India. They got to have makeshift graves because the morgues and everywhere is full.
That's another thing too that I never understood how they had the refrigerator trucks and people in Brooklyn and people were just like, oh, it's whatever. Like, I'm not this. I'm just like, dude. Like, one of my friends works in the hospital and he's a director or something. I can't remember what hospital it is. And he was like, yo, I literally just wrapped my first body today. And he's like, and this is something I'm going to have to do fairly often at this rate. And I'm just sitting here like, that's crazy, but people actually think this isn't real, or like it's some kind of a joke, or oh, it's this, it's that. It's like, nah.
That they think that it's a ploy of the government to track you. Meanwhile, they walking around like, yeah. What you said?
The track, yeah. When people bring up the tracking thing, I mean,
it's like, if you don't sit your,
this is enough.
Simple down.
It's like your watch. You have on an Apple Watch, a Samsung watch.
Like, yeah, they trying to track us, yo. Nah, B, what you said? Hold on, I'm going through a dead zone. Hold on.
sitting in your car with GPS, OnStar, everything, SOS, and all types of stuff. Plus, you got your cell phone and you got on an Apple Watch. It's like, what are we doing in here? We know what time it is.
You sound STUPID.
Yeah.
Why everybody always think they want to track somebody? Like, why do we want to know where you're going?
Yeah, what makes you so special? On the next episode of Up4Debate.
Where even is Silicon Valley? Is that in California?
Yes.
Is it San Francisco or something? Somewhere there.
No, I think San Francisco.
Listen, these people is over here trying to, I'm telling you. Now, this is my own conspiracy theory. Nobody told me this.